This is your video on scientific notation. Just in case there wasn't enough time in class to prep your foldable, I'm going to go ahead and go over that. So with your piece of paper, you are going to fold over horizontally, but not halfway. I need you to leave about a ½ inch on the bottom. So go ahead and hit pause and do that now. So you've folded your foldable and you have a ½ inch down at the bottom. The next thing you're going to do is fold it again. So you're going to fold it this way. We are going to be cutting down the middle here, just up to the top, and that way we have two flaps. Go ahead and hit pause and do that now. So I've cut and I have two flaps here. Down at the bottom I still have my ½ inch. I'm now going to cut up just a little bit, about my ½ inch right there. So this is what our foldable looks like. So fold your ½ inch bottoms over the top flaps and your foldable looks like this. Okay, so starting here, this is the front of your foldable. The flaps are going to be up top, so if you'll just turn your foldable that direction. On the left-hand side, I want you to write positive exponent. Go ahead and hit pause and do that now. On the right-hand side, I want you to write negative exponent. Hit pause and do that now. Okay, turn your foldable upside down. You're going to be underneath positive exponent. You're still on that side, but you're upside down. I want you to write a very large number. On the right, I want you to write a very small number on the negative side. So hit pause and do that now. Okay, so now our foldable is facing upward again. We have positive exponents on the left. We have negative exponent on the right. So open up your foldable and we'll start on the positive exponent side. Write on the top of that side, scientific to standard notation. Hit pause and go ahead and do that now. We're going to start with 1 3500 times 10 to the 5th power. This exponent is positive. When you have a positive exponent, it means that you're going to be moving your decimal to the right. Since the exponent is 5, I'm going to be moving my decimal to the right 5 times. And I end up with 135,000. Now please keep in mind, one of the most common mistakes is for people to move the decimal 5 times, but then they'll rewrite their problem and they'll keep the decimal between the 1 and the 3. Once we've moved it, it's in a different location, so make sure you remember that. Going from standard to scientific notation. Go ahead and hit pause and title that part of your foldable. So this number is written in standard notation, 155 million. The first thing you're going to do is move your decimal left. Since it's a whole number with no decimal visible, we know that it's at the end. So we start at the end. We're going to go left. Why do we go left? Because we need a number on the left-hand side. So we're going to put that decimal between the 1 and the 5. So we go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, which makes our exponent 8. This was a large number, so our exponent is positive. You can check yourself by going backwards. Positive exponent means to go right 8 times. So if we were to take that decimal and go right 8 times, we would end up back at 155 million. Okay, so let's go to the negative exponent side. We're going to start with scientific to standard notation. Go ahead and title that. So we have 2 7/10 times 10 to the negative 3rd. A negative exponent means that you're going to be going left, because on the number line, negatives are on the left. So we take our decimal that's in between 2 and 7, and we move it left 3 times. And we end up with 27/10,000. We fill in our blank spaces with zeros. So now we'll go from standard to scientific notation. Go ahead and title this part. We're going to start with a very, very, very small number. When you have very, very small numbers like this, less than 1, there's no whole number here, which means it's 0. So this number is less than 1. We know we're going to have a negative exponent. So I'm going to move the decimal in between the 5 and the 7. Your rule is you need to have a number on the left, and it cannot be 0. It has to be between 1 and 9. So I wouldn't be able to stop here, because then 0 would be on the left. I wouldn't be able to stop here, or here, or here, but once I've moved it over the 5, I can stop, because I have a number between 1 and 9. So my number written in scientific notation, I moved it 5 times, so my exponent is -5 since it was a small number. You can always check yourself. I recommend it. The -5 means to go left 5 times. So if we were to move this decimal left 5 times, we would end up back at this number. So we did this correctly. Okay, open up both flaps. We're going to be writing down on the bottom side of your foldable. This is where we're going to be writing the rules. The first rule, you're going to move the decimal the same number of places as the exponent says. So up here, it said to go 5 times right, so we went 5 times right. Here on the right-hand side, it said to go 3 times left, so we went 3 times left. When you're going to scientific notation, there can only be one number on the left of the decimal. And that number on the left must be between 1 and 9. So those are your rules for scientific and standard notation. I want you to use your notes and take this quiz. Here's part 1. I want you to hit pause right now and go ahead and start this quiz. On number 1, you should have gotten 17,200. The positive exponent means go right, so we move the decimal place right 4 times. On number 2, negative exponent means to go left, and we go left 3 times. Number 3, we moved the decimal between the 5 and the 3, and we did that by moving 3 times, and since it was a small number, our exponent is negative. This was a larger number. We put the decimal between the 5 and the 7, because remember you have to have one number on the left, and we moved the decimal 7 times. It's a big number, so it's positive. And ordering these numbers from least to greatest, it ended up going this way. You had to actually change the numbers first. So this is part 2 of your quiz. A human body contains about 5.6 times 10 to the 6 microliters of blood. Write this number in standard notation. Hit pause and try this now. You take your positive 6 exponent and use it to move the decimal in 5.6, 6 places to the right. 5,600,000. The next part. Number 1. Write the number in standard notation. 3.2 times 10 to the 3rd. And it is C. You move the decimal 3 places right. Number 2. Write the number in standard notation. 9/10 times 10 to the negative 3rd. You move the decimal 3 places to the left, and the answer is D. Number 3. Write the number in scientific notation. We moved the decimal between the 9 and the 7. We moved it twice, and it's a small number, so it's a negative exponent. Number 4. Write the number in scientific notation. We moved the decimal between the 1 and the 3, and we moved it 4 times, and it's a big number, so it's a positive exponent. And that's it for your quiz. Do not forget your notes when you come back to class.